Hello and welcome back. So, in addition to the berry guide, there was one other thing that I was really enthralled with and something that I really wanted to get out, and that's a proper EV training guide. Now, Darian brought a guide to me a couple of days ago, last week, whenever, and I already sort of knew how this was gonna go, but I really would have loved to have just had a guide to help show me where to go. But sadly, if you look online, you might be able to find good guides on YouTube, but if you look directly online and ask how to do it, you're not going to get a good answer, and chances are, if the berry guide was any indication, a lot of people on YouTube probably have some very poorly optimized EV training guides. Now, when Pokerus comes into the game, it's going to change everything, right? It's going to make it so that these processes go a lot faster, but what I have to offer right now is proven to get you what you need in a very succinct manner. So in this guide, I'm going to go over the entire process of breeding to EV training to having a competitive ready team, as well as some of the intricacies like hyper training and the works. Now, this won't be scripted, so do forgive me if I fail to edit out things that aren't as relevant, but we're going to start with setup. There's one crucial thing that you're going to need no matter where you are in the process, and that is Ditto. If you take a look at my Dittos, I only have 2. And usually I think you would only need about 2 to 3 maybe. It depends on how good you get. But you're going to want something like this. 5 IV, 6 IV Ditto. You're going to want that. Now, from my experience and from what I understand, it's impossible to just slap a Ditto with a Pokemon, say like this, say like one of my Fluttermane, right? Let's say I wanted to breed something like a Fluttermane with no good stats. If I put these two Pokemon together, I would not immediately get best in all of the categories, and I wouldn't be anywhere close actually on like a first attempt. It's a slow process. So the first thing you want to do is get a Ditto. The easiest way to do it is to go online. You click connect to internet. You go to the Poke Portal, and you simply go and you click on the Tera Raid Battle up. And you look to see if anyone's doing a Ditto raid. That is the easiest way to do it. It takes a lot of time no matter how you try to go about it. And what you're going to want to do, now because of the event that's going on, I think this might make it a little bit hard. Once the Charizard event ends and these go away, you probably have a higher chance. But you're looking for these down here. You're going to look for a 5 or 6 star Ditto raid. People know how to do them. And once you find one, you go in, you fight it, you catch it, and you check its IVs. I'm not going to go through all of that. You should be able to take it from there. Hopefully, once the event ends, it'll be easier. You could also, obviously, always look at your raids. What you're going to want to do, though, to guarantee that you get the good Dittos, you don't want to go to all your raids. You want to go to the black ones, the 6-star ones. And if you don't know how to get these, really all it takes is beating the game, going into like that the post-game stuff. Then you'll be told that there's like 5, 6-star raids. Well, 5-star raids, and then you do a bunch of 5-star raids, and then Jacques will call you up again and say, hey, there's this very dangerous one called 6-star raid, which I don't want you to do because it's dangerous. And then, just like a Pokemon trainer in any game, you go and you do the 6-star raids. We're gonna check, just see what this is. It's a 6-star Clodsire. It's not a Ditto, but that's simply what you want to do. You can do like the date switching stuff and try and get what you want. But honestly, it's way easier to just go in to the Poke Portal and just try and reset for the Ditto raids. So I'm going to go back, and from my experience, it takes a long time. You can't just disconnect and reconnect. It takes a long time to get that prompt X right there that says check for new postings. You're going to want to wait for that. But other than that, that's probably the easiest way to get a 5 or 6-star Ditto. So once you have your Ditto, the next thing is obvious. You're going to want to pick a Pokemon. Now, you can also use those raids to catch Pokemon with 5 good IVs. And the reason why IVs are important if you're new to the franchise is that these individual values you can't normally see on your Pokemon. Usually when you look at your Pokemon, you can see what stats it has that are good, which stats are bad. And if you hit the L key, you can also see how many EVs they have. So if it's a brand new Pokemon, it shouldn't have anything there. But if it's a Pokemon that you've been using for a while and it's something that's been on your playthrough, usually those aren't good to use because they have random stats distributed. So as you can see, my Sada here what's this thing called? Fluttermane has really good HP, special attack, special defense, and has pretty high speed, right? But if you change it, it'll show you sort of what it's proficient in and what it's bad at. And as you can see, HP, attack, defense are all sort of taking up a lot of EVs because it's been used in normal battles. So once you know what Pokemon you're going to want to use, we're going to just go for the Slacking, I guess, as an example. You're going to want to take a Ditto. And again, you want to press your little plus key. It says Judge. You want to press that to see what your Ditto stats are. And if I look at my Slacking has best in everything but special defense. Now, it's very important to note, if you take a look at my competitive mons, I just trained a King Gambit, for example. My King Gambit has best in every category but special attack. And that's because King Gambit, not really a fast mon, not a good special attacker, so those kinds of stats don't matter. If you look at my Garganacl, it has everything but speed, and again, special attack doesn't matter. So depending on the Pokemon, it's going to have one that you don't care about being perfect. Kilowattrel is a special attacker with low attack, so attack is only decent. Palafin is a physical attacker, very fast. Special attack is the only thing I don't need. Every single one of your Pokemon is going to want HP at least, and the defenses. HP, the defenses, because those are things that you cannot skip out on. That will decide how much damage you take from hits. So I'm going to take this Ditto. Again, Slacking's not really a fast Pokemon. It has the ability Truant. So I think it does not matter. Now there's an item here called the Destiny Knot, which you can buy. And I'll put up on screen probably where you can get this, or I'll skip to showing it. So the Destiny Knot is important for passing on IVs. That's a hidden use of it that you're not really looking at when it comes to Pokemon. It's really important for breeding though. And then one thing that I recommend you do, which a lot of people probably don't know, you can also give your Pokemon one of the power items, which again, I'll go over later how to get that. So there's one for every stat. And I'm scrolling through, I could have just showed my favorites. So there's the Power Weight for HP, Power Anklet for speed, Power Band for special defense, Power Lens for special attack, Power Belt for defense, and Power Bracer for attack. So these 6, they also have a hidden use. Oops. They also have the hidden use of being able to choose a specific stat to pass down to its descendants. So Slacking also does not have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to my other Ditto. And this is why it's good that you have more than one. This is the Ditto that I'm going to need for this, because now that I look at it, the one stat I do need is special defense. And the Destiny Knot's going to pass down random between all of its traits. And then what I usually do, which I probably should have done in the first place, but overlooked, is give it the Power Weight. So I'm going to pass down HP from Slacking, and as you can see, Ditto only has decent in HP, so it's very important that I keep the HP best and I get the special defense best. So let's see, I don't have too much space in this box for eggs, so I'm gonna go here. And so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna drop a save, and we're gonna start breeding just like that. Very important. The picnic is where all of the breeding stuff is tied in this game, but it also has one more very, very important thing that you have to take care of, and it's sandwich making. So to increase your chances of getting that egg, I recommend the Great Peanut Butter Sandwich. It'll give you a nice egg power of 2. Alright, so that should give me egg power 2. And so now really all I have to do is wait. One thing I like to do, I return to Koraidon, go down this ball. I really like playing with the ball. And I'll come back once I got a good amount of eggs. Well then. So, what happened there? I left, I did some dishes, I just let these two stay here and play, and I got a lot of eggs. More than I actually need, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna look at the box. Look at all these eggs. So the next thing you're gonna want, if you don't have it already, and if you've never heard this before, you're gonna want a Pokemon that has Flame Body. And the reason why you're gonna want a Pokemon with Flame Body is because Flame Body is an ability that helps hatch eggs on top of the sandwiches, which gives you even more power. Just make the process very fast. So you're just gonna want to go ahead, grab a bunch of your eggs. You're gonna want to hatch them. I'm just gonna hatch these, and then I'll show you the next step after. Alright, so here's the first run of eggs, and unfortunately, I think we've mimicked the parents a bit too well. Because this Slack Off has these same stats as Slack King, and then the rest of these kind of just fall off. This one would have been great, but it didn't. It got pretty good attack from somewhere. So like as you can see, like hold on, which one was it? It was this one, right? Like, you can't really pass down all your stats. Even though they both have best in attack, some Slack Offs will just randomly have pretty good attack. This Slack Off has decent speed, pretty good special defense. And this one's just a mess. Let's see. And this one's also a mess. Decent defense, pretty good special defense. So, but one thing that's important is they all have best in HP. And that's because I gave him the power weight. So it passes down the HP. So that's always guaranteed a stat. You're basically guaranteed 3 to 4 stats. And then the rest is just down to luck. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hatch the rest of these eggs. Alright. So we hatched the rest of the eggs. Usually I just run down roads like this because there's no loading between the places since it's open world, right? Very easy to just run and hatch eggs. So let's see if any of these are the ones we're looking for. And there we go again. Yep, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern here. There we go. Got one. This Slack Off right here has best in HP, attack, defense, and special defense. Speed is kind of optional for slower Pokemon, but I definitely don't need the special attack. And, you know, you don't really need to breed for a perfect. It would take a lot longer for me to try and breed for a perfect Slack Off. So we're going to go ahead, send the rest of these off into the Abyss. So now we're going to take our little Slack Off friend here. And now we're going to move on to the next part, which is EV training. Now, I really wanted to try and go all out and in depth. I think the best approach is for me to show you all the places that I currently go to. And one thing that is very important to keep in mind when you are EV training. So here is a PDF, a PowerPoint that I'm going to put in. This is what we're going to go over. I have this mostly so Darian and I could go ahead and do some quick training. There is one part here that I'm going to edit, but the rest of this so far is good. You have the HP. All of these are going to have a specific area, a list, or a specific Pokemon for you to kill. All of these Pokemon are going to give you 2 EVs, which is kind of a lot. This game. It's really hard to get 3-stage Pokemon to fight because 3-stage Pokemon usually just show up in like a horde surrounded by their lessers. So 2 EVs, on average, it'll take you 26 of them to max out a given stat. Now this is without the items, which I'm not going to go over because I feel like that's a lot less cost effective because you're going to have to go out, you're going to have to buy them. They are cheaper in this game. So if you want to go ahead and look for that kind of stuff, do go ahead. But for me, at least, this is the easiest way to do it without having to farm for money because it takes a lot of vitamins and a lot of things to max out a Pokemon stat, let alone 2 stats per Pokemon. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through each area. All right, so our first stop here, this is where you go to grind HP. I have 2 different places for a very specific reason. But here we are at North Province Area 3. It is a little bit ways off of the Glaciado Mountain. but it's also where you will find the Team Star base, the Fairy type Team Star base, and a lighthouse. So there's a lot of little ways to find it. It's up. Oh, wait on. You can see me. It's up at the top of the map there. So the way that this works, here you can find Chansey, which are very abundant once you activate the correct sandwich. Every single one of these will have specific sandwiches that you can use. But I think that for this video, it'd be best for me to just use the basic one. So I'm going to save. I'm going to Picnic. Right, so you're going to want to have a Pokemon, preferably your strongest Pokemon, and it's going to be the one that's doing all the knocking out, while your secondary Pokemon is going to be receiving all the EXP and EVs and all the benefits that come with it. Hopefully you don't accidentally make eggs while doing this, but I doubt it's going to be a problem. So for the normal type, we have the ham sandwich, which is number 80 on the list. And if you look on the right, it'll tell you all the meal powers. One of them is encounter power level 1 for normal types. Okay, pack up, and you start running around. And what's going to happen is... What in gods? I have not seen a Fortress on this route before. That's pretty cool. But anyways, ignoring that. We're going to run around. See, there's one Chansey there. And they're going to just start spawning in. Another Chansey here. Another Chansey here. Another Chansey here. They're just going to start spawning all around you. And every time you kill them, they're going to give you 2 EVs plus the like 8 or so from the power belt. Or the power weight. Sorry. Okay, well, let's do this properly. Let's sort by favorites first. There we go. Power weight. So you're going to want to give your Pokemon that. Basically doubles or increases, I'm not going to say double specifically, the amount of HP that you get per kill. So you're going to want to equip that on your Pokemon. And then you're going to knock out 26 Chanseys. Now you're going to know that you're done when you go to your Pokemon. See, what's one that I gave HP to? I think I gave Florges. Actually, I know I gave Garnacle. Alright, it's gonna look like that. So it's not going to be specifically like this. This is fully maxed out, but your HP stat or whatever stat that you're increasing is going to start glistening like that. And when all 510 of your points are distributed, you're gonna get this little highlight here that turns it into like a bluish color. Now, one thing that you absolutely cannot do is say I'm fighting a bunch of these guys and I go ahead and I attack a Hoppip here. Hoppip gives a completely different stat. It's not going to be 2 EVs in HP. It's something else. I don't really remember what. It might be speed. I don't care. That's not important right now. What is important is that you don't fight any other Pokemon other than the one that is specifically feeding you your stats. Now, the only thing that I have an issue with when it comes to Chansey is that Chansey gives HP, but also a lot of EXP. And so it can overcap your Pokemon. Honestly, right now, I'm thinking it's not a problem. Because the initial issue is that I want all my Pokemon to be around level 50. So if you're going to be a stickler like me and you want to think about what your Pokemon stats are without going all the way into Battle Spot, usually it's a lot easier if they're the same level as they will be on Battle Spot, which is level 50. Let's see. So in an effort to save time, we're going to go straight to the other area, which is the Tag Tree Thicket. It is right off the Glaciato Mountain again, right next to East Providence Area 3. So we're going to fly here. Same thing applies. We're going to be hunting more normal types. And this time we're looking for a handful of Pokemon. Again, the link will be in the description. This is also, ironically, another Team Star base. So we're going to go into here. Now, this area, it's a lot harder to find the right Pokemon. There's a lot of normal types here. And not a lot of dual types or typings that you can really take advantage of. So we're looking for Oinkologne, Greedent, or Squavit. Not Squavit. You can kill these for like 1s, but really you want the 2s. It's a better use of your time. Now, Graphite I give 2 speed EVs, which you do not want. So you don't want to fight them. But this is the other place where you can get HP EVs. pretty easily. Yeah, I only had those two listed. So Oinkologne and Greedent. Those two Pokemon, Tag Tree Thicket or Chansey in North Province Area 3. So now in order to get attack EVs, we're going to come up here. Now this is a really hard area to really pinpoint, but it's near the Fire Scourge Shrine, if you've seen that. And it's this area right here, the Fury Falls. You can also port to North Province Area 2. This little area where you can evolve your Bisharp into a King Gambit. This is the area that we're going to next. Alright. So here we're going after another Pokemon. This time we're going after Dark types. Those two Dark types are Bisharp and Low-Kicks. Both are fully evolved, technically quote-unquote fully evolved Pokemon that will give you 2 attack EVs per kill. Now, the sandwiches that you can go through here are the variety sandwiches, which start at number 100. So I'll go ahead and do this one. Now, the only issue with sandwiches and why I recommend trying the level 1s out before really relying on the level 2s is because a lot of these Pokemon are going to be fairly easy to spawn in with the level 1. Hence why I'm using them. But also, if you mess up a single ingredient, sometimes that ingredient is enough to ruin the entire sandwich and ruin what points you get for your meal powers. So we're going to be very careful. Doesn't matter how it looks. I'm pretty sure you've seen other people make some goofy looking sandwiches. But we want to make sure that we got everything on here and nothing's falling off to penalize us. Now I know how it looks, but what happened there was that the prosciutto just got clipped through the sandwich. It's a funny little weird bug that I don't really care about. Because again, the point is not the aesthetic or the look. This entire mechanic is in the game just to give you meal powers in an interactive way. So it's only gated by what ingredients you have. Now, if you don't know where to get ingredients, I just thought, just go to the different stores and shops in the game. Usually you want the big towns like Levincia or, what was it called, Mesagoza. Those places are perfect for it. And again, the XP that you get from picnics doesn't really affect it. So now we're going to run around again. Low kicks. We have Dark Power on, I believe, right? Dark Power. Encounter Power, Dark 1. So that's going to make Dark type Pokemon appear more often. Okay, this is not the right direction. Let me go in the other direction. Low kicks. X-Ray, which should be a Dark type. Low kicks again. You also see more Bisharp. And you're going to want to kill them. Again, 26 is usually the magic number for a maxed out stat. You kill these 26 times, and then you move on to your next one. Alright, so Black Off evolved. You didn't finish maxing it out, but this is what it's going to start looking like. Once you get 26, usually you can use your PP as an indicator. You can also write it down, just keep tally 26 times, and the stat should be maxed out. So now we're going to move on from the attack to the, what's next? Defense? Alright, so for this next one, there is a disparity between the two versions. Pokemon Scarlet has an easier way out than Violet, but this has to be by far the hardest sandwich to make. I've already failed to make it twice while trying to record this. The Great BLT gives you Rock Power 1, which is what you're going to need to hunt this next Pokemon. Now, if I try to go at this picture, maybe I can do it right this time. So start to let us down. You know what? I think I need to do it like this. Lettuce, then tomato. Okay. Then basil. And then put the bacon on top. Basil leaves are the easiest part. They don't move. It's too small. One there. Then we've got the bacon. Oh. Okay. Okay. I think you can miss one of the bacon. You just can't miss the other. Oh my god. Oh no. Every time. So if I change the Pokemon, it's only going to be because of the sandwich. We got it though. We got it. It's not that hard. It's gotta go lettuce, tomato, bacon. Alright, so if you're playing Pokemon Violet, pay close attention. This is where you will go. You will go to the Scarlet Trail, and you can kind of see it already in the back. Oh, wait. Okay. You can kind of see it already in the back. So we're going to go to Scarlet Trail. That's off the coast, sort of. So here's Port Maldonado, the desert. Go all the way out here. It's going to look like this, if you're looking at the map properly. It's going to look something like this, I believe. No, like this. Here we go. So looking at the map. Here. Scarlet Trail. And the Pokemon we are looking for is Sudowoodo, which will try and run away from you, but it's fine. You should be able to catch it every time. Sudowoodo will give you 2 defense EVs, and they don't really move around too much until you notice them. And then by the time they run away, it's too late. You can already throw your ball at them. I was going to say Fortress for this game, but the problem is Fortress have Sturdy, and that's just time consuming. So look at all the fake trees out here. It might be a bit creepy for you at first, but you'll get used to it. So, for Pokemon Scarlet, what you can do instead of that is go to the Asado Desert, which is technically a bit more accessible, a bit easier. And you're going to fight Stonejourner. Stonejourner will also give you 2 defense EVs. Also requires you to make the Great BLT. And they will spawn everywhere. They're rock types. You kill 26 of them. Okay, yeah, no, I said the right number. 26. You're going to kill 26 of them. And then you'll have maxed out defense. Alright, so this next one is by far the best in terms of spawns. We're going to want to go to the Zapapico, right? But not just anywhere specific. We're going specifically here. Sorry, not anywhere non-specific. We're specifically going to the west route. Because here spawns Pyroar. And Pyroar will give you 2 special attack EVs. And that'll be boosted by the... Oh, I didn't even go over the power... I mean, it's the power items. You should be... You buy all of them. Buy all the power items. You can buy multiple of the power items. You can train multiple Pokemon at once. Right? You can't really set up a picnic on an incline, just like in real life. We're going to go ahead and set up our picnic, and we're going to force the spawn. So, fire types only have 1 sandwich that I can tell that gives you the power. And that's this pickle sandwich. Easiest sandwich. Alright, we still got Encounter Power Fire. Thank God. Oh, man. Doing this recording is really messing with my game right now because I have it on a capture card. So, let's see. If I run around, we'll see Skull Villain. But what I really want to get are the Pyroar that spawn here. Here we go. Now, the best thing about Pyroar is they'll actually spawn as a group of adults every now and then. And that's super important, as it'll let you farm faster. You'll also see male Pyroar with the little babies, or the female Pyroar with all the little baby Litleos. So this is where you would go for that. It's very, very easy. It's the easiest one out of them all. So without further ado, we're going to move on to Special Defense. So for Special Defense, we are moving back up north to where we fought the Chansey. Let's see, Iceland Shrine. Okay, we went the wrong way. Yep. This also helps you get a really good layout of the map as well. Right here. We're going back to North Province Area 3. And we're going back here because Floettes spawn. You might have saw them earlier. Floettes spawn in abundance here. Now, the mistake that I made before was that I made a BLT instead of an Ultra BLT. You gotta make sure that you get the right sandwich. It will be in the document, in the description, so that you don't mess it up. A normal BLT. The Ultra changes encounter power to rock. BLT does fairy. It's a little bit easier. You don't need the Bazil on there, so you don't have to put that in mind. So we're gonna do it the right way, just like we did with the last one, and hope that it works out. Lettuce first, then tomato. And then bacon on top. Yeah, I'm definitely messing this one up a little bit. But hopefully it'll be stable. Put the bread closer to this side. Ooh, we got it. And if you need to know where to get the ingredients, I'll show it at the end. Not the ingredients, the recipes. Because I just realized that's also another kind of tricky one that you wouldn't really think of. Alright, BLT sandwich. Caterpillar Fairy. Pack up. And go. These are very small. Again, very abundant. I think I'm going to kill those 26 times with the power item that corresponds to special defense. I think it's the belt. The band. There we go. Power band. And after 26 times, you should be maxed out in special defense. And finally, probably the funniest one and the most entertaining one, we're going to go to Medali West. Was it West? No. Go to Medali East. Alright, here we go. So East. This Dali Zappa passage, we want to get access to this. Because this is where Electrode, Persian, let's see, the Dene, and I think there was one other Pokemon that all spawn here, and they all give you 2 speed. So I'm going to show you the sandwich that we're going to use. And luckily, it's not an exclusive thing, so you're going to get a lot more value out of this one. So for this picnic, we're going to make an avocado sandwich. The avocado is number 44 on our list. And this is going to give you electric power to help spawn the Dene and help spawn Electrode. Let's see, what else was it? Oh, we also have Palmo that you can fight. Palmo. But Palmo's pretty tiny. And unlike the Dene, it's usually surrounded by even tinier Pokemon. But if you do see a Palmo, you can go ahead and kill that too. All of those Pokemon give speed too. Knock them out 26 times. And you'll have max speed. And what's going to happen is that you're going to see more electric types. We got the Dene here. I want this specific one. So Electrode are very fickle. When you get close to them, they're going to start channeling... Oh, they have to notice me. They're going to start channeling an explosion. It's an animation that takes about 5 seconds. And the fact that Electrode didn't explode makes me think that it's a Ditto. Ditto also spawns on this route. So it's very important that... Oh my, stop please. So it's very important that you pay attention to what you're throwing at. That's the only kind of like downside to this, is that you're going to have to look at the Pokemon and throw it at them. But you're probably going to do that anyways. But do expect to run into a couple of Ditto while you're doing this. But this does have a very big abundance of Pokemon that'll give you the 2 speed EVs that you're looking for. And then here's Palmo. So that's every single area that we have to cover. What's important now is what you do afterwards. And for that, we're going to run straight into the city, actually. There's a couple things that you have to keep in mind for when you're making a competitive team. Before I get into the details, we'll talk about the Treasure Eatery here in Medali. If you come in here and you talk to this lady here, she will help you change your Pokemon's Tera-Type. So if you want to customize your Pokemon's Tera-Type, sadly, you're going to have to do a lot of raids. She gives you 50 normal for free and then offers to boost you up. But if you've seen it in my inventory, you just have a bunch of these sitting around. And once you gather 50, you can change the Pokemon's Tera-Type to the same type as the Dual Shark. So if you want to do it that way, you go ahead, you do a lot of raids, and then you're going to get a couple of these at a time. As you can see, there's only a couple that I can really do. So if that's really what you want to do, you can go ahead and do it. They don't pass down through breeding or anything like that. So it's very important that you know what Tera-Types your Pokemon are, because it can be very clutch in battle. The next thing that's important to note is items. So if you zoom in on any given town in the game, it will show you what you can purchase there. This town is mostly just food. If you need ingredients, you go to Sure Cans. But if you want items, there's 2 places that I think 3 actually that I recommend. You can go to the water type place, Karkarafa. This has a bit of everything. You got a bakery if you want specific points that you don't have yet. You can go to Delibird Presents, any Delibird Presents, and buy items. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. There's two in this town. And then there's one in Levi. I always say Levioso. It's not the name of it. Levincia. Zoom into Levincia. There's Picnic Knacks. I know that there's a Shurikans right here. Delibird Presents right there. You just do that, and you'll be able to figure out where all the items are. They are in different places. You can't really nail them all down, but do a little bit of that. And then the other big place for it is Mesagoza. Mesagoza obviously is the hub world. You can go to Delibird Presents there, but also in Mesagoza you can go to wherever that sandwich place is. Oh, is it this? No, it's not this. I'm pretty sure it's not this one. Oh. Here it is. Okay. So, this shop here. Let's see if I can find it on the map for you. Oh my lord, that gave me a okay. Is this even marked on the map? It's here. So here's the academy. You go down and around. There's a sandwich shop here. And when you talk to this guy, if he has new sandwiches for you, he'll give you new recipes. And he actually just gave me new recipes as well, so I'll look over those. And again, my updated guides will be in the description. Do you have anything else for me? Okay. So that's where you go for sandwich recipes. Then we're going to go to the Delibird Presents stores. Because one of them I think I haven't been to yet. Yeah, this one. I don't think I've been to this one before. I'm going to see what's in here. Battle items. I guess the same. Oh, wait. Here's LP. Alright, so if you want to change Pokemon's abilities, you'll also have to do more raids. And another item that the raids will give you is the ability patch and the ability capsules, which are very rare. This will allow you to change your Pokemon's basic abilities, and the ability patch will allow you to change your Pokemon's ability to its hidden ability. And luckily in this game, they tell you whether or not. I famously, for myself, had an issue in Gen 6. I spent a lot of time trying to get an ability patch in Gen 6 just to find out that it was the capsule instead, and I couldn't change my Pokemon's ability to its hidden ability. So, something that I want to keep in your mind. You also get EXP candies and mints. You can use the mints, obviously, if you played the last game, to change your Pokemon's nature. Really, the only thing that you have to worry about are these things. You can also change Pokemon's ability, not ability, your Pokemon's moveset. You can remember the moves that you haven't learned, that you have learned, and you can use a TM to learn moves that you haven't gotten yet. Let's see. That might be everything. Yeah, let me go back to my team. The team that I have right now. Right? So, I used an ability patch, not ability capsule, to get Breloom Technician, which is its hidden ability. I also used it to change this Pokemon, Kilowattro. I used the ability capsule, not the patch, to give it Volt Absorb. And then I either relearned all of the moves that they have, or I taught them, like for example, I worked to get Liquidation on my Palafin because I had Aqua Tail, and that was 90 accuracy, which is horrible. Actually costed me a game. Just, you know, there's just a lot of little things to keep in mind, but in general, you want Dittos. You want to use the Dittos to breed for good IVs. Alright, so when you know what Pokemon you want to build around, what you can do is go to Marilland's team builder. And here, Marilland has the completely updated list. It includes new Pokemon. And you want to put that in, and you want to kind of figure out what your Pokemon's weaknesses are and how to approach, basically, like where to go from there, what Pokemon to add to your team next. So I started with Breloom. And you'll see what happens here. We look at Breloom's weaknesses and we think, how can I cover that? Well, obviously, if the biggest one is flying, you're going to want maybe a rock type. Rock type can cover the flying weakness. The ground weakness is covered by the grass fighting type. And as you can see, like, you're sort of stitching together a way to cover up all your weaknesses. And then I look at Gargarnacle and Breloom, and then I realize the next Pokemon that I can go for would be a flying type or an electric type like Kilowattrel. So Kilowattrel comes in, immune to ground. It's weak to rock, which is made up for, it makes up for the fighting weakness, and it also makes up for a grass weakness on my team. And you just keep going from there until you have your whole team. And hopefully you have only about 2 weaknesses per type so that your team's, you know, more covered. And it's especially important in 3v3 because in 3v3 you will only have a fraction of your team. So it's great to make a team that's very well rounded and able to do a lot. On the ladders right now, in the lower tiers that I'm in, it's mostly just sweep teams. So if you have Pokemon that can counter a really strong sweeper, you're pretty much set. So hopefully that gives you everything that you need to know about preparing for online battles in this game. It's really not that hard to do the whole process. Any Pokemon takes way less than like an hour if you're already set up. And I'll have a link to the Team Builder website as well as my PowerPoint presentation for it as a link in the description. There we go. And until next time, I hope you take care.